Yo, how y'all doing today? And I'm not gonna lie, we're not gonna waste any time with this one, okay? Bombrush is evolving right in front of our very eyes. Now, if you've been watching me for a little bit, you know that I am a very big advocate for Bombrush Cyberfunk. I love this community, I love the game, I love the mods for it, and I love how people just get absolutely cracked at this game. Now, I thought I was cracked, but I'm not gonna lie, the people in the free soul server are completely different types of monsters, bro. Like, I could probably make a video just talking about some of the players, like, alone, but that's not what we're here for today. Today, we're here to talk about gooning. And no, not that type of gooning, bro. We're talking about this type of gooning. And to understand gooning, you have to know what a goon is. So you see these billboards, right? You can wall run on the front part of these billboards, but that's not what we're focusing on right now. You see the top part of them? You see those edges, like to the left and to the right? Well, a basic goon is landing on those edges and then leaving those edges within one frame, canceling out the wall run animation, and it just sends you flying with a boost of speed. Now, for this specific type of goon, all that is required is for you to land on the edge. You don't need to press the jump button as soon as you touch the edge. You just land on the edge. And depending on how close to the edge you are at the absolute end frame of it, it impacts how much speed you get. Also, it matters which type of like billboard you're on. So if you're like, for example, on Brink Terminal, you see in the middle that giant billboard, like beside those two ramps on its sides, right? Since that's not connected to a wall, it's much easier to attain more speed off of that because you're not brushing up against anything. You don't have to account for that, right? And then one of the ones on the wall may like cut your speed a little bit depending on how you land on it. It may make it a bit more difficult to even achieve the goon in the first place. And then we have the second method of hitting a goon, right? This one is more consistent, but it's by far more harder. So basically, you see the top part of the billboard, like the very top part. Well, if you land on that part and then click the jump button, like within the same frame you land on, it's like a frame one input, then you also get a goon. This one is probably gonna be more faster 9 times out of 10, but it is definitely a harder input to hit. But when you do get this tech down, it makes for some awesome clips, bro. You just gotta try your best not to like get lost within the speed and then, you know, fumble the entire thing. It'll aggravate you a lot, but it's definitely a learning curve. It's super fun. And for the next tech we have is one of my favorite techs. It's called a butt slap. Now, if you've ever played Thug Pro or Rethawed, you know, the Tony Hawk games, then you'll recognize this tech. Basically, on like going off of a ledge or something like that, you do a trick in mid-air without hitting the jump button, and then after you do the trick, after going off of said ledge, you spam the jump button, right? To get extra height and get extra points within the combo. Now, in Thug Pro or Rethawed, you know, the Tony Hawk Underground games, right, in American Wasteland, it is definitely a more tighter input and harder to pull off, but with this specific config of Movement Plus, the Gladiator config, it's much easier and more satisfying to do. And if you mess with like the values a little bit, you know, you'll go like flying to the moon or something. But yeah, that's not it. You can also let out your inner initial D and start Tokyo drifting everywhere, bro. Like, we lost the plot with this game in the best way possible. And if you remember like my first Bombrush Cyberfunk video, you know that I was an advocate for like adding Haruko in the game. And guess what? They added her in the game. But of course, it's not like the best. It is the V1 of the model, but the creator said that they plan to update it, so we won, bro. But aside from Movement Plus and all the other cool stuff, my all-time favorite thing that this community has done as far as like the modding scene is create the free soul server. And I know I did initially talk about it when it like first came out or whatever, but since then, a lot of things have changed, and low-key, it took off a bit more than anybody thought it would because like there's so many people on it to the point where they have to tweak it to be able to handle more people being on it in the first place. But yeah, if you have Bombrush on PC, you absolutely have to pop out. It's like a rite of passage, bro. The last event was this Cypher on Pyramid. It was so much fun, bro. It was so much fun. And with the crazy influx of like mods coming in that tweak mechanics and like map imports and entire different like original maps and stuff, the game is like on the horizon of becoming something insane. Like, I can't say too much, but bro, now this wouldn't be a canon vid if I didn't double it up, but like, instead of doubling it up, how about we triple it up this time? Now, if you're into the like pro skater games, you've probably heard of like Thug Pro, Tony Hawk's Underground 2, whatever. And if you haven't, it essentially just makes the game like playable online with your friends. There's probably other stuff that I'm like overlooking, but that's not the point this time. I want to introduce you to, if you haven't heard of it already, Rethought. Now this is built off of Tony Hawk's American Wasteland instead of like Underground 2 this time. But they take it a step further, bro. It's not just American Wasteland. You can go to the physics options and change it to whatever Tony Hawk game you want. So essentially, this is just like, I don't even know. This is everything. This is like beyond an expansion pack. Now, for the people that have never been into like Pro Skater, I'm not gonna lie, it's a decently like, there's a decent skill curve to the game. Like, it's definitely harder than Bomb Rush, but when you pull off stuff, oh my God, it's the most satisfying, cleanest, crisp thing ever, bro. This game has like tech upon tech upon tech. Now, building off of that one, bro, I got another one for you, and this one is crazy. Like, I don't know like what mad scientists thought of this, but they were a genius for it. Have you ever thought about Tony Hawk Pro Skater if it was inspired by Devil May Cry? No? Well, don't worry, because somebody thought of it for you. Welcome to Hellscape. Now, the game's in early access right now, but bro, they are cooking a full course meal. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's like Hades, Devil May Cry, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater like all combined into one, because the game is also like a roguelike. Now, as far as Devil May Cry, I don't mean in the sense of like, you know, combo game where you're doing your air launchers and then you're like chaining them to different types of, I mean Devil May Cry as in like fluidity of the combat, like from enemy to enemy, right? And there is a move in the game that reminds me of like Trickster. It's like the little air dash type of move, but I like to see like they're taking influence from it in a different type of way than like games usually do. And in classic roguelike fashion, there's of course like a bunch of different core mechanics, right? And then there's like a bunch of abilities you can get. There's many different weapons you can get, and you can customize your character, you know, like in Pro Skater fashion. And for early access, bro, I'm thoroughly impressed. If you're a fan of like roguelikes in general, right, or any of the Tony Hawk games, I 100% think you should try this game. And low-key, I slick, and this is completely like off topic from like the types of games we're talking about right now, so I'm about to like yap for a little bit. I slick want to talk about Rolling Rascal for a little bit, because I'm not gonna lie, A1 game. And if you're like in the realm of like, I guess, Sonic fan games a little bit, or games that have like the influence of Sonic, if you're in that like discussion or bubble, you probably already heard of this game. But these devs are like so based, it's kind of like crazy, bro. For starters, you know, like when I was glazing bit catches movement and stuff like that, this is kind of like low-key, it's like a different spectrum, but it's like kind of the same, but in the sense of Sonic. It is fluidity incarnate, bro. And they recently actually updated it to where they added like trick animations that are like really cool. And it completely outgrew its like roots of being a game that's kind of like influenced by Sonic. For starters, bro, one thing that's super glaring when you see this game, the level design is absolutely stellar. A complete masterclass in level design. And I mean that in the literal sense. Like, you can see it for yourself. Even if you're like not a fan of these types of platformers, you'll be able to appreciate it, because it takes elements, of course, from like, you know, Sonic, bro, but it also takes elements from other platformers like Mario, in some cases even Banjo, with like how it handles like open area exploration. Now, all of that is like cool and all, but I know that y'all want to like see stuff that y'all can like play right now, right? But you want to know what you can play right now? The demo. Now, wait, let me cook. It may be a demo, but this could be a full game by itself. All right, so in classic demo fashion, it has its sample levels, right? But on the other side of the spectrum, bro, there's a full, complete lobby system and matchmaking system if you don't want to play with your friends, for a mode with original stages that aren't even like rips from the actual game, and they get updated with new stages where you can just straight up race your friends, bro. Like, the lobby is a literal hub world and everything, with like obstacles where you can test out the mechanics. Like, I'm not saying this in like a demo fashion. They just gave this to you as if it was just like a full thing, and it's absolutely for free. You don't have to back the Kickstarter, none of that. You just can just go download it, play with your friends right now. Like, it is that crazy, bro. And now it's time for your annual dose of canon music recommendations. The part of the vid where I give you some bands, artists, or just songs in general that you probably never heard of to, you know, expand your palette a little bit. Maybe spice up your playlist just in case you're getting bored of listening to the same stuff. And to start it off, we got a band that I found a while ago by like no clipping into the backrooms, bro. I don't know how I found this band, but they're called See-Through Person. And it's crazy because they're like relatively new, right? They formed in 2020, but bro, this is low-key my favorite emo band. There's only one problem though. they haven't dropped since 2021. But this band is extremely good. Like, oh my, okay, I'm gonna try to explain it, right? I'm gonna put it in canon terms for you, right? Take Haruko. No. Actually, take Mamimi from Fooly Cooly, then take Lane from Serial Experiments Lane, right? And then swap which anime they're in. And there you go. That is this band. This band is Mamimi if Mamimi was in Lane's place. I know for the people that like don't know what I'm talking about, they're like staring at the screen so confused right now, bro. But anyways, right? Okay, so do me a favor, right? Look up this band. Don't even like pick out a single song. Just listen to Chariot, bro, their 2020 EP, and just listen to the entire thing all the way through, and then come back to me, bro. You'll understand exactly why I'm glazing this band. And to switch it up a little bit, next we have Sa Salasa, and I really hope that I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is a duo of 2 artists actually, Sasakure and Lhasa, of course. Both also with their respective discographies that are extremely good. I know Sasakure is more well known because one of their songs got like more popular, and Lhasa's also really good as well, so you should definitely check her out. Her vocals are A1, which begs the question, why did I bring up the duo instead of just mentioning these artists separately? Well, the reason for that is a really good song called Nevermore. The combination of Sasakure's great production and Lhassa's amazing vocals. This song sounds like how Killing Sands feels. Production aside, because the instrumentation in this song is absolutely amazing. Like when he chooses to like do electronic stuff and then add traditional like piano element. Anyways, production aside, her cadence in this song and the way she like flowed straight through it, amazing. Like, bro, you don't understand. If this dropped years ago, the Undertale flip note AMVs would have went dummy. But you wanna know what does go dummy? Joining my community Discord server. It's lit, bro. We sell crab legs. Also, be on the lookout, bro. I'm doing a video with my twin Renzo, and it's gonna be on DMyDB, aka one of the greatest, most underrated cartoons of all time, in my opinion, of course. But yeah, I guess that's it for this vid. And I still don't know how to end vid.
Up in here with my tool, they gon' find you in the ditch, yeah. Straight for high rule, you not from it, you a glitch, yeah. Man of my rules, running with the misfits, yeah. Do not misclick, that's gon' get you hit quick, yeah. Death on death, this God, ain't no variation, it's Lord, I keep prepared.